humongous. Six people stranded, cornered, hunted. Because here on Dog Island, something evil has been growing for 30 years. Humongous. It's loose, it's angry, and it's getting hungry. Humongous. God help us.
All right, this week we're going to be taking a look at some B Phrygian dominant sounding licks. It uses sweep picking. And we're going to start here on the 6th string, 8th fret, and we're going to be sweeping in groups of 5. So we're going to start with an up pick. So up, down, 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 up. And that's going to lead us into the next group of 5 on the 5th string. Next group of 5 on the 4th string. And the next group of 5 off the 3rd string. Now this is all a diminished 7th arpeggio, but I'm calling it 7 flat 9 because when you play a diminished 7th arpeggio over a B major tonality, you're getting a dominant 7 flat 9 sound. So it's kind of like a substitution. So even though it is diminished 7th arpeggios, the tone you hear when played over the chord is 7 flat 9. And this is another one of those licks where you don't have to do any hammer-ons and pull-offs. The groups of 5 lead perfectly into the next group of 5 so that you don't have to hammer on or pull off. So if you're going up, down, 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 up, this last note of the first group is an up pick, which perfectly leads you into the next string group with an up pick and then followed by 1 down and up. So up, down, 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 up. So each group is linked together perfectly so that you don't have to do any hammer-ons or pull-offs. So and that's the next part. So once we do the 5s here, we're going to shift up to the 19th fret and descend to B major arpeggio. And this is just a 5-string traditional sweep pattern. Kind of looks like a, B major chord, but with 1 note added here and 1 note added up top. So, and then we're going to descend into another inversion of the same chord, arpeggio, which is this position. And this looks like this B major chord shape. And then we're going to shift down into the next position, which is based off your 6-string B major arpeggio.
Okay, this week I'm going to call this segment Gearbox. This is pretty much what you need in your toolbox whenever you're going to a gig, because you definitely don't want to be leaving something behind to where you can't play the gig, because then you don't get paid. So let's see what we got in here. For one, first off, extra sets of strings, and I've got 2 different gauges in here because I don't ever know what guitar I'm going to be bringing with me, whether it's going to be a longer scale, so I use 10s on some of my longer scaled stuff, or I use 11s on like a Les Paul or whatever like that. Also, I do a lot of acoustic gigs, so I'll have some acoustic strings in here. For my pedal board, I usually use a 1 spot, and I actually have 2 different pedal chains. I've got one that I carry with me because you never know how hard people are rocking out on your pedal board more than you are, man, and it happens all the time. Also, if I'm going wireless that night, I have multiple cables for my wireless. You never know when something's gonna break down on you. Also, you know, extra patch cables. There again, man, your audience can be a lot more harder on your pedal board than you can. Spare picks. You're always gonna need picks. Flashlight. You're always gonna wanna use a flashlight. Screwdriver, multiple screwdriver for Phillips and regular head. I always bring at least 1 spare instrument cable because you never know what's gonna go wrong. Also, what I'll do is, depending on what sound guy, we run our own sound whenever I play, but when you're using somebody else's sound guy all the time, you never know what kind of power strips they're gonna provide for you. So I've actually taken and eliminated any kind of worst case scenario. I've got extension cables out the wazoo here. I can play any stage that I need to and not have to ask anybody for anything that I forgot. Another thing is, whenever I'm playing, I like to stay consistent. This is a 609 Sennheiser mic. This is what I mic my guitar with. Sounds really, really good. It sounds real natural out front, out in the mains. Also, I always bring my own vocal mic. You never, ever want to use somebody else's mic. You don't know where their mouth's been. You're going to get sick. I always use my own mic. I tend to use a Beta 58, but depending on what kind of voice you have, you know, I don't think there's one best mic out there. It just depends on the individual. I always bring spare pedals with me too. I've got 2 of every pedal that I use. I play 3 to 4 nights a week, so constantly stuff can and will break down, and I always like to be ready for that because the show must go on. And last but not least, let's see what else we got in here. Oh, my autographed picture of Kim Falcon there. So there you go, man. That's what's in my gearbox. What's in yours?
Lazy? We don't blame you. If your guitar needs upkeep and you want it treated like a lady and up to optimal shred performance, contact Mike at mike@nedguitars.com. Too busy writing musical notations to write an email? Visit Mike's website at nedguitars.com. You wouldn't let just anybody touch your woman, so don't let a hack touch your guitar. Contact Mike today.